Hey guys! Hopefully this is gonna work. Okay. Welcome to Scratches. This is a game that I have played in the past. I have beaten it, but I do not remember anything about it because when I got it I was really, really little. Not really little, but I got it probably when it first came out, which was years ago. I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember how to beat it. I don't remember any of the creepy stuff that happens, but this game is really good. At least from what I remember. Its atmosphere is great. I've decided to play it again and to record it. I've decided that to give it another playthrough now that I'm older and able to get through puzzles without looking them up. Because when I did play this when I was younger, I did look up how to do everything. I didn't I didn't bother to try and solve anything. But anyway, that's not going to happen this time. I'm sorry if it might be echoing. My volume is...
I arrived at Blackwood Manor one cold Saturday morning amidst a thick veil of fog. The weather didn't look good, and there was an unnatural calm surrounding the area, yet I soon became entangled with the place.
Now, for those who don't know, this is a point-and-click game, but it is still... It has a really good atmosphere, from what I remember. So, hopefully it's not too boring. I really hope it's not too boring for a Let's Play walkthrough commentary game. I'm gonna have to get used to the controls. I mean, there's not many controls, but... Saturday, October 12th. Alright. The cloudy sky above me seemed rather unsettling and almost made me lose my balance. I felt a curious urge to run for shelter, and my new home in the distance seemed very inviting. Ooh. I don't remember it being like this. I remember having to, like, click and hold to get it to turn around, so that's pretty nice. Oh yeah, and the buttons. Okay. It might be because... I don't know why you would get out of the car and leave the keys in the car. It was the boot of my car, which, considering my non-existent technical expertise, I hope I would never need to open. Being able to do this might be because I'm on a better computer. When I originally played it, I was playing on, I'm pretty sure it was either XP or before XP. That's how old this game is, or at least when I played it, it worked on my XP. The mailbox is empty. Okay. I wouldn't really call this game scary, but it's definitely creepy. I don't know. I like it. I really do. I do not regret getting this. And I cannot wait to experience it now. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, is it I? Or no, M? There's a button that's gonna open my inventory. Logging on? Logging. Okay, I'm not sure what that did. Oh, wait. Oh, right-clicking. Okay. And this should tell me what That's the key to the cars. This is the key Jerry gave me to Blackwood Manor. Suitcase holding some of my stuff, and it's awfully heavy. My loyal typewriter was inside that case. Okay, I need this. With very little effort, the key unlocked the front door. And in we go. God, if you guys could hear my computer running this, it's atrocious. I don't even understand it. This game is so old. There's like nothing graphically advanced about it. It's a point and click. It's 9 o'clock a.m. And it's like it sounds like it's struggling to run.
Hello?
Michael, it's me.
Hey, Jerry. It's good to hear your voice.
I see that piece of junk you got there is working.
My thoughts exactly. I was afraid it'd fall apart as soon as I laid my fingers on it.
So how did you
I think it looks neat.
Do you like the place?
It's hard to tell yet. I'm very impressed, that's for sure.
I'm already
sound old.
creeped out.
Is everything okay?
Yes, it's perfectly fine. It's just that I'm in awe. I mean, pleasantly surprised. This house is like a dream come true.
So you do like it? You got me worried there for 1 second.
I'm telling you, I'm going to turn this place into a factory of horror stories.
Good.
Ooh.
You ought to finish that book.
Apparently I'm a writer.
You sure everything is in order?
Well, I just got here. Let me have a look around, and I'll get back to you if I find anything strange.
Excellent. I'll talk to you later.
Now, there is no quest little bar, so I'm probably gonna end up fumbling through some stuff. Although now, that was kind of obvious. He wants me to look around. If you didn't just admit to writing books, that would be very weird to say right now. Aw, but that's pretty neat. It's too bad it's not functioning. I don't know if you guys can see the hand. I mean, it's my mouse, but technically it's my mouse, but fireplace had a generous amount of wood in it, and I was relieved to know that I could warm the place up in case it got cold. I'm certainly not good at chopping trees. I was afraid this game wasn't gonna work at first in Windows 7. And then when it started giving me blue error death screens, I was even more worried that it was not gonna work. But eventually I figured out. I found someone asking the same question. Apparently it's a common thing for this game to do that, give that blue screen on Windows 7 because of a frame rate thing that you have to change in settings, which is good. I'm glad that it's playable. Okay, February 6th. The construction of the railway bridge is almost complete and went quite smoothly. It took longer than I expected, yet I wish it would have lasted longer. I will be very sad to leave South Africa. I've become so attached to it, its culture, its arts, over the past few months that I cannot help feeling as if it was already a part of me. I will surely return someday, soon, hopefully, although I'm afraid there is a great deal of work to be taken care of back in Old Britain. Fortunately, I have made good friends here who were ecstatic about my new appreciation of their country. They have offered me some wonderful objects as a token of gratitude, which I have already created and got ready to ship, along with many other trinkets I bought myself. It looks like I'm about to start a very substantial collection. It's a good thing Catherine agreed to move into our new home, although I fear several renovations will have to be made, even more if I'm intending to start a serious new hobby. It seems I'll have to get back to work. John Patterson has just told me that some natives are causing trouble, a very unfortunate thing, although I'm secretly rejoicing. February 12th. The natives won't leave. It's not like they're causing trouble so much as they're unsettling our workers. The only complaint so far has been distraction. They just stand still between the trees staring at us without blinking an eye. Oh, that's an issue. I hope... So my screen just shut off. I'm sorry if that happened. I'll cut this. I've watched them for a few minutes and they truly seem like some... I don't know if it's an R or N. Tenebrous? Turenberus? They seem like statues. At first it was just annoying, but lately it has become downright creepy. They seem to be stalking us. So it's not like they're hindering the construction, but there is a... My dog does not want me to record. She seriously just keeps putting her toy in my lap. She's being adorable right now. They seem to be stalking us. So it's not like they're hindering the construction, but there is a general uneasy feeling as if they were about to jump at us at any moment. I think I will hire some protection as a measure of precaution. February 15th. Fascinating. I've been looking into these natives. They live in a nearby village and are a very small group, yet they seem to manage quite well. I had thought of them quite an uncivilized tribe, but their movements are calculated, and one can perceive a sense of careful organization in their tasks. Oddly enough, they seem to be very brutish, and their aspect looks awful, although I couldn't take a look at their facial features as I followed one of them completely on my own, and it could have been dangerous getting any closer. Also, the village is poor and very rough, but some of the shacks leapt out as inviting or special. It made me very curious. I will try to come closer tomorrow. February 16th. My second expedition to the village of natives has been foiled by an unexpected problem at the bridge. I'm afraid it was due to a slight miscalculation on my part, an indication that I should be focusing more on the task at hand and put my sudden love for all African things aside for a moment. It was my fault and I accept it. February 20th. They are at it again, lurking behind the forest. It's amazing how they have changed our perception of the surroundings. At first we were delighted by the quiet nature of the place. Now we fear what horrors might be concealed in that dark and foreboding cloak of trees. The tops loom above us, overshadowing the bridge, and strange noises haunt our meals. Even the river telling ungodly secrets. We could be, of course, a bit more sensitive towards distractions, but I can't help feeling that the area has in fact become sinister. And yet, I'm still looking forward to satisfying my curiosity about the tribe. February 24th. At last I found something more about the neighboring tribe. This is an incredible finding, and I just can't withhold my excitement. Some elders at the local town happen to know about them, but only through stories they've heard. The most surprising thing is that the tribe was assured to be extinct long ago, but according to my vague descriptions, the elders think that we could be dealing with a legend here. Everything they ever learned of them was during their childhood, when the tribe was stalking the town, much in the same way they have been stalking us. People used to call them... Oh my god. Dilhelm, Dilhalium, Delaham, 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 Delaham. As much as such was the sound of the screams heard echoing late in the night. They'd come out into the streets and see an evil glitter atop a hill in the distance. Some would say it was a fire, some would say it was a fire, others the cursed spirit of an ancient god. Whatever it was, they say that the bright light and these fantastic screams were bone-chilling. The macabre scene would suddenly stop just as it had begun out of nowhere, never to be seen again in days to come. Intervals between these horrible nights became longer and longer until they soon faded into oblivion. The tribe apparently had retreated back into obscurity until now. They were later known as the Dahalmar, a rather more scientific name, although none of the people I spoke with could possibly remember its origin. I find it extremely surprising that nobody has ever heard about this tribe with the exception of a few townspeople. They must be incredibly rare, and judging by the stories passed on from generations in the town, very old. February 27th. I will confess that I've become nearly obsessed with this strange tribe. I see them as the most prized goal of my appreciation towards all of South African things, a dangerous yet irresistible reward. I feel as if they were my discovery. I simply have to study them before leaving. I fear I won't have the chance to ever again. It has become an important goal of mine, even more important than finishing the bridge. March 4th. Finally, I've managed to see them. My God, what a disturbing spectacle. When we arrived, they were moving around the village very slowly, without speaking or communicating with each other, each minding his or own business, completely alien to the rest of the world. They were filthy looking, coarse and downright disgusting. I couldn't see any weapons, but they could have been stored somewhere. It was all very strange behavior in a tribe. They must be quite unique. Then, as if they had suddenly all become possessed by some wild spirit, they began shaking spasmodically and screaming like mad. Some of them dropped to their knees and lifted their heads to the sky, eyes blank and moaning in an indescribable way. Two of them walked away, still in that monstrous and slow manner, and in great contrast to the rest of the scene, into a shack. The next minute they brought out into the open an odd-looking mask. Its shapes, colors, and overall looks, while unsettling, were mesmerizing, and I felt instantly hypnotized by it. It rendered my most collection of African curiosities into dull and uninteresting items. The mask was very ominous, and the whole tribe seemed to greatly revere it. Soon they began to gather around it and move in circles, fluttering and chanting in a guttural psalm. Judging by their motions and aspect of the whole ritual, it must have been some kind of war ritual. I'm not sure how to explain what happened next, as I feel my pulse is already throbbing. Words fail me to recount the most disturbing thing I've ever witnessed. One of the male villagers walked into the middle, near the mask, by his own will. It was almost automatic. All of a sudden, the remaining members became silent. I can't tell for how long it lasted, but I was afraid to breathe. I think Dalby and the others were also scared. They wouldn't even blink. I remember being soaked wet and expectant. That's a weird sentence. The silence was so unnatural. Then a few members separated from the people circling the mask and jumped on the single villager, beating him to death. To be completely faithful to the event, the small crowd tore him apart. They grabbed his legs in twos and threes and twisted them in a manner I dare not describe. His face was disfigured with their bare fingernails and teeth, and the torso soon disappeared on the frenzied tangle of hands. In a matter of a few minutes, the villager was turned into a red sack of bones. Not one of the attackers had the compassion to snap his neck during this sickening process. All was very methodical, as if it was just another mundane task. The most terrifying aspect, though, was that the victim didn't even cringe. The silence was so deep I could hear his flesh ripping. I would expect any living creature to scream its guts, and in such a condition. I can't tell whether he was drugged or half asleep, but I didn't recognize him dancing like everybody else before walking into the middle of the circle. It was the most outrageous and sadistic sacrifice I've ever heard of. I don't think I'll ever forget what I saw. My intentions of approaching further, even if they didn't have any weapons at hand, vanished. These creatures, I dare not call them human beings, could have killed my whole company in the blink of an eye with their rage. They seemed to be completely out of themselves and willing to destroy anything within their path. While the images of the sacrifice still haunt my thought, I still can't seem to forget that mask. It was so deceptive, simple, and yet perfect in its own design. I haven't seen anything like it. I surely would love to take a better look. I feel the Dalmar, dangerous as they are, could be the most important ethical finding in decades. What I've seen today is crying for some further investigating. What I've seen today is crying for some further investigating. I just can't leave them like that. I would never forgive myself. And the mask. That mask.